Hello. In this segment of the Facts, we're going to be discussing customer need-to-knows, especially if you're a new customer of PwC. Take myself, for example. I recently purchased a new home. In my previous living situation, I had a water bill, an electric bill, even a gas bill, and they were all coming from different companies. Well, now I'm with PwC, and I want to know how the rates compare, how reliable is the service, and exactly what services do they offer. Joining me to help answer some of those questions will be Senior Customer Programs Officer Mark Brown. Come on, let's get started. Here with me, I have Senior Customer Programs Officer Mark Brown. Mark, thanks for joining me.
Well, Mark, glad to be here.
So Mark, help me out. I'm recently a new homeowner. PwC is going to be providing services for me. Talk to me about some of the services that PwC provides.
I guess one of the things that's important to remember as a PwC customer is that we do provide multiple services. And it's important to remember that we are owned by the City of Fayetteville. Our assets are owned by the City of Fayetteville. We're a nonprofit utility. We have local employees and we have local policymakers. So we're very much a local utility. As such, we provide three basic services: electricity, water, and sanitary sewer. All right. In addition, we have a couple optional services that I can talk to you when we get into the specific services.
Okay. So with those multiple services, that's something I need to be mindful of when I receive my bill, that I'm not just going to be billed for one service.
Right. So each of our services, if you have all three of our services, you'll see all of the electric billing determinants first, and a total for that, subtotal for that, and then each one for water and wastewater. Okay. So you'll see a separate total for each of them, but you will see all of them broken out on your bill.
Okay. So what about the electric service? What should I know as a new customer?
I think it's important to remember that it's more than just your light bill.
Right.
You get your lights, you get your heating, you get your cooling, and it powers your home. All of your appliances, your washers, your dryers, your refrigerators. So there's much more being used than just lights on your electric bill. Okay. We're very proud at PwC that we have some of the lowest electric rates in the whole Southeast. One of the reasons for that is our commission has a strategic goal that they have the lowest prudent rates. And so that's important, and that's why we keep our rates as low as we can, because that's a very important goal that the commission has. When you come to that, another thing to be worried about as electric utility is reliability. All right?
Always want those lights on.
Always want those lights on. In 2016, which is the most recent information we have, our average customer was out of power for only 27 minutes.
Wow.
And if you remember in 2016, that's when Hurricane Matthew was here then. If you take out the outages related to Hurricane Matthew, the average customer was out for an average of 4 minutes in 2016 and had less than one outage for the whole year.
Okay.
So we're a very reliable utility, and part of that is because our local workers can respond very quickly if we do have an outage.
Right. Talk to me about the water service rates.
So one thing about water service is not every customer who's a PwC customer has water service. There are 3 water companies that provide water in the Fayetteville area. We do have, again, among the lowest rates in the whole Southeast. It goes back to the Commission's strategic goal. We also, something that most customers don't know, is that we have tiered rates. So the first 2,000 gallons that a customer uses are at the lowest possible rate. So that allows customers who have very minimal needs to get a low bill. So people who are on fixed income, who don't have a lot of needs, pay a lower rate to help them meet their minimum needs. And then customers who can afford to use more pay a higher bill.
Talk to me about how safe the water is.
Okay, so we're very proud at PwC, and we take a lot of work to make sure that the water is plentiful and safe.
Right.
We meet or exceed all the EPA standards for drinking water, all right? And so, and we work very hard, and we take pride in making sure that there's plenty of water for the neighborhood. If you remember, we just worked with the state to ensure that water would continue to flow down the Cape Fear to us.
Right.
And so that's what we do that. And also, we've won awards, national awards for our water.
Now, would there be a difference if I stay inside the city limits as opposed to being outside of them?
Absolutely. So it's very common in water utilities in North Carolina and in other states where municipal utilities provide the water that the rate for customers inside the city is different than customers who are outside the city. The basic reason for that is that the city owns those assets. So the taxpayers at the city get the benefit of a lower rate inside the city, and the people who live outside the city pay more. At Fayetteville, it's both for water and sanitary sewer. That applies not only to the city of Fayetteville, but also the town of Hope Mills, because when we purchased the town of Hope Mills water and sewer system, we entered into an agreement that qualified their inside the town customers for inside town rates also.
Okay. You mentioned sewer. So, new home, sewer. How do I know if I have sewer or a septic tank?
Basically, you should know from the person you're buying it from. Okay. Like a big lot like you have here, there might be a chance there's a septic tank. When the smaller lots, you need a lot of space for a septic tank. You have to have the septic tank, and if you have well water, you have to have good separation between those two. But in this area, you probably have sewer service. You're in the heart of the city, so you probably have sewer service. We're not the only person that provides sewer service. Again, the town of Eastover also provides sewer service. So if you're east of the river, it's possible that you get your water and sewer from town of Eastover and your electricity from us.
And you mentioned briefly that there's some other services offered by PwC.
Right. The other optional services on the electric side, we offer area lights.
Okay.
So an area light is an additional light we can put on your property to provide additional security light for a monthly fee. So if you're looking at that, especially when you move into the new house, you might not know that you have an area light. So that's one of the first things you want to do when you call in for service, when you call to set up service, or when you look at your bill, see if there are extra charges for an area light to do that. On the water side, the other optional service we have is irrigation service. Okay. Irrigation service has to be a separate service. The benefit of irrigation service is that you don't pay sewer charges on that.
You've armed me with a lot of good information. We've gone over electric, water, sewer. Anything else I need to know? What about customer service? What if I have an issue?
Well, we pride ourselves on being a local, your hometown utility. So we have local employees, we have local policymakers. So whether you're online, on the phone, coming in to see us, we're local and we're ready to serve you.
Grateful for Mark joining us to give us some of the information we need, especially as a new customer. He's broken it down for electric, water, sewer, even some other services. It's been great information. Well, I hope I can use it because those are the facts.